Tonight, I want you to think about the experience of Jeremiah in Jeremiah chapter 20. I want you to think about Jeremiah because he experienced something all of us experience, and that is frustration. But not just frustration, but frustration when trying to do what is right. As we have been talking about peace, one of the things I want you to understand is that though we get frustrated in trying to do what's right, there's a certain peace that comes from fulfilling your life purpose. In Jeremiah chapter 20, in verse number 8, he says, "For since I spake, I cried out, I cried violence and spoil, because the word of the Lord was made a reproach unto me, and a derision daily. Then I said, I will not make mention of him, nor speak any more in his name. But his word was in mine heart as a burning fire shut up in my bones. And I was weary with forbearing, and I could not stay." This particular passage is familiar to seasoned saints. We love to talk about the fire and like a burning fire being shut up in his bones. But I want you to understand the greater narrative here. Jeremiah was frustrated. And anytime you serve, anytime you're serving people, there's sure to be days of frustration. But he also determined that God had given him a purpose. In his case, it was to prophesy to other people about the pending judgment and about God's warnings to his people about that judgment. As Jeremiah determined that he would no longer prophesy, he found that not doing what God called him to do put him in conflict within himself. He could not rest. He could not be at ease. I want you to think about, why were you born? Why did you wake up today? And what will you have to answer for in the judgment? These questions are designed to get us to start thinking in terms of our life's purpose. Because one reason why many people do not have peace is because they are living a contradiction of themselves and who they're supposed to be. And there's an internal conflict that they may not even be conscientious to, because they're not aware of how their life might be in contradiction. Life has purpose, it has meaning, and it has value when we learn to serve others. The Bible teaches us the very idea of serving others. Romans 14, verse 19, seek to edify others or build others. 1 Thessalonians 5, verse 11, the Bible teaches us about serving, doing that which is beneficial to others. When you know who you are, you'll better appreciate people around you. You'll be less insecure and envious, and more thankful for how God is using them and how God is using you. You'll even get closer to God when you know the purpose that you have as determined by God. Jeremiah was in conflict within himself. It gave him no peace. He needed the grace of God to continue fulfilling his purpose. If you want some peace in your life, it's not necessarily going to come because of the absence of chaos, confusion, and conflict. Sometimes you get some peace when you learn who you are, why you were born, why you woke up this morning, and what you'll have to answer to God for in the judgment. Living a life of purpose takes us from a life that is meaningless to a meaningful existence. This has been another installment of A Few Minutes with the Minister.